All right, once Stacy gets here, we'll go and start the lecture. Did you have a question? Okay. Yeah, you said you wanted to make a guitar, didn't you? Yeah, this is it. Why don't you say right here? Yeah.
I don't remember.
An electric ukulele, or?
I have my dad's.
Ah, man, what is the name of the website that had the Telecaster dimensions? Let's see. Drawing. Oh, Electric Herald. There we go. Nice. Oh, see, here we go. There's my my special ads just for me. OMTech stuff. You seem to Google OMTech a lot. Here's OMTech stuff. Pretty cheap. Under 10K for laser cutter. But then you can make little knickknacks and sell them very slowly. Yeah, on Etsy. Maybe you can have both. You can sail while you're laser cutting. Oh, no way. That's yours?
No, that's what I'm looking to do.
Oh, okay.
It's fully solar. All that's solar panels.
Oh, wow.
That's an 80-footer.
Wow.
That's 4,000 square feet of interior living space.
Wow.
Not including the cockpits and the flight room.
Well,
And it's short-handed, so 2 people.
gee. Before Stacy gets here, let me just go ahead and let you all know I've renamed a lot of these assignments and released some assignments that I hadn't released yet. So I want to make sure you guys turn your stuff in. I know you've all been doing the work. You've had tool number 1. You should have done 2 things on tool number 1. You've done tool number 2. You should have done 2 things on tool number 2. Tool number 3, you should have 2 things from tool number 3. I want each of those turned in here. So hopefully that's pretty clear. Tool number 1, project 1. Tool number 1, project 2. Tool 2 is the next project. Tool 2.
Okay.
Tool 3, those are both your tool 3s.
And those aren't locked. They won't lock after a certain date. I mean, you can submit now.
Ooh, what is all this? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, wrong class. My bad, wrong class. You're not NMUSD, you're OCC. Here we go. So assignment 4 is your 2 coasters. Go and put that assignment there. Assignment 5 is when you got to tool number 2 and did your first thing on tool number 2. Assignment 6 is also tool number 2. It should be the second thing you did on that tool. Something cooler, better, stronger. Assignment 7 is tool number 3. First thing you did on tool number 3. Assignment 8 is tool number 3. It's the second thing you did on tool number 3. And then assignment 9, final project proposal. That's an actual discussion board. I want you guys to start posting your ideas right now, immediately. They can change over the next few minutes, over the next hour, over the next day or 2. It doesn't matter. I just want you to start thinking about what that final project is going to be. And then assignment 10, I'll go ahead and throw that in here now, which is the actual final presentation, final project worth, let's see, what did I say, 100 points? 100 points, final presentation. Hey. All right, where is All right, let's learn how to make a guitar. You guys want both lights off? Huh? Yeah? All right. Here go the lights. Somebody fall? Okay. One thing I went over just previously is I've redone all the assignment names to help clarify what is due, because I know it was a little bit confusing earlier. I know that because people are turning in the wrong things and the wrong assignments. So starting with assignment number 4, it is when you use tool number 1, it is project number 1, making 2 coasters. You can turn in both coasters on that assignment. 5 and 6 are when you use tool number 2. 7 and 8 are when you use tool number 3 last week. Okay, so for each tool you should have made 2 projects. One really simple that teaches you how to use the machine, and then one a little bit slightly more advanced that goes into design a little bit more. That's the difference between the 2. It could literally mean you just added one more shape into your coaster. That's totally fine as long as you played with the machine once more. Assignment 9 is your final project proposal. It's a discussion board. It's open and available to you right now. So as I'm lecturing, I do want you to start thinking about what your final project is going to be, how you're going to combine your 2 different tools, and you can start plotting your ideas here. They can change. Your final project can change over the next 1 minute, over the next 5 minutes, over the next hour, over the next day or week. It's okay. It's not concrete, but just start plotting your ideas in there so I can either reply or come to you in person and chit-chat with you and give you some direction. And then assignment 10 is also available for you guys as well. It is the final presentation project, the two tools with 1 project. So that's available to you. It's worth 100 points. You can get a little preview of what it is, but I've already told you. So.
Do you want photographs on that of the final project?
I always want photographs. I mostly want photographs unless I've given you some sort of software exercise, and then I want screenshots. But for each of these tool things, I don't want screenshots of your Rhino. I'd rather see the really cool CNC project, 3D print project, the laser cut project. It was even more confusing in my other class, so hopefully this helps to clarify it. Let's go ahead and get started on doing the Telecaster body, which I've done a couple times. So I have some experience in it. So if you just Google Telecaster drawing, Telecaster body, Telecaster blueprint, the website we're looking for is the Electric Herald. If you go to their website, you can find all of these Fender Telecaster templates as PDF formats, which is super helpful because we're going to steal all this information, and the fact that it's a PDF format means that likely this was drawn in some sort of CAD software and then PDF'd, which means I can open up that PDF in Rhino and steal all the vector information that I need without me having to go through and use several different commands to redraw it. I could just take someone else's work. So I'm going to be heavily borrowing this PDF here. Telecaster body front. I'm going to click on download. And here it is. All the specs, all the dimensions. One thing to note about this project is that where all your pickups go and all your hardware, there's different depths. Each one of these has its own specific depth. And then also some of them have to be connected via some sort of channel, which you have to do in post. So what I can do with the X-Carve CNC is I can get this whole entire outline shape plus all of these locations where all of these pockets go. We can cut it out of 1/4-inch plywood, something really thin. What you can do with that piece is take it over to your stock material, your final material for your Telecaster body, which has to be about 2 inches. 1.75 inches is the thickness of your actual electric guitar body. And I can't mill that on our little X-Carve here, because to be able to mill this out with one stock material that's 1.75 inches, I would need a bit that's at minimum 1.75 inches long. It also, most of it, or a lot of it, needs to be hosted by the router itself. Then the router has its own issues with the Z depth, right? It can't go that high, so I would need about 4 inches of clearance in that CNC, and I don't really have that. So our workaround is going to be cutting 1/4-inch plywood, very easy, very doable, taking that 1/4-inch plywood, placing it on top of my 1 3/4-inch stock material, and then taking a hand router with the correct bit and bearing that will follow the shape of my Telecaster body and allow me to cut it out all the way through 1.75 inches. And then to do the interior pockets, we can use that 1/4-inch plywood to figure out where they go, but we'd have to use, again, a hand router or preferably a plunge router. So we can set our router on top of the body, on top of our template, and have it drop into there, and we can pocket it out ourselves. So that's how it can be done. And then these little tunnels in here from this pocket to these two pockets, these little dashed lines represent the hollowness inside of the guitar body itself.
Let's keep the diameter for that.
Oh yeah, everything is in here. We have all the different radii, 0.265 radius there, 0.430 radius there. This is section marker B, so it's like an architectural section, so I can look at section B. Lots of information on this drawing. Here's section BB, and there is a 1/4-inch drill through. You can see that it's angled, and that's because if I go back to here where BB occurs, right here, I'm going to have to take my drill bit, a really long drill bit, and tunnel my way through there. Now that's really hard to get a big old fat Makita drill in there to go straight in. So you're actually going at it at an angle, which is totally fine. It's just for passing, I think, a cable or something through there. I'm not a guitarist, so I don't really know what goes in here, but I know how to make this thing. So anyways, I'm going to be borrowing from this. So now this is sitting in my downloads. I'm going to start a new project here in Rhino. I'm going to go to small objects, inches, and I'm going to import. You can go to File, Import, or just type in Import. I'm going to go to my downloads. I don't see it here. Let me make sure I've downloaded it. Let's put it in downloads for now. Back in Rhino, here it is. Okay. I can scale it up or down. I'm just going to hit OK. Not really concerned with the scale because I'm going to have to scale it up and down myself anyway. So here it is. And if I go through and start clicking these things, I've got actual line work in here. These are actually little teeny tiny lines, which is great. I just need to trim this up, clean it up, so that way I can have one nice big long continuous line instead of a million lines. So I've got a couple tricks for that. First of all, we want to take care of the scale. So select all of these curves by making one big large selection window. I'm going to go and organize this into some sort of layer. Let's put on layer 1, change object layer. I'm going to rename this layer to PDF, whatever. I love using layers because it keeps everything super organized, but I can turn things on and off as needed. I can lock things that are on a different layer. I'm noticing that this did not turn dark red. That's the layer color it is on, is dark red. It should all be dark red. So if I select it all, go to Properties, this little rainbow button right here, Display Color. This should be set to by layer. Usually it's not when you import things, so here it is. Now it's all dark red. And I'm going to select it all. I'm going to look and find a measurement that's going to be easy to replicate. Some round number. 1. How about 1 inch? That sounds like a nice round number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select everything. I'm going to come in and zoom in on this portion that says 1. So from the tip of one arrow to the tip of the other arrow, or from one horizontal line to another, that should equal 1 inch. Okay, so I'm going to type in scale. Ooh, let me put this thing on. I'm going to type in scale, hit enter. I'm going to try that again, but in Rhino. Hello. Scale. All right. So I'm going to scale it from this base point. So I'm going to click here at this, once I've identified this endpoint. Okay. Now it's asking for a scale factor or first reference point. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to snap to this perpendicular end and intersection point. I'm going to click that. And then my second reference point, I'm going to just type in 1. Okay.
So you did both. You did the top and the bottom, hit enter, and then you typed in 1 when it asked for the second.
Yes. So basically what we're saying is from here to here, make it 1 inch. That's it. So let me undo. I'll redo that. Okay.
How did you import it again? Is it
I used import.
just import PDF?
Yes. This is going to be recorded.
Oh,
It's actually already live on YouTube. So if you just pop on YouTube on my channel and watch it right like 2 inches away from his face, it's right there. There's a slight lag, but because it's alive, it'll also natively be recorded. So you're gonna go. You can rewind as many times as you need to when you go and do the thing. Just so I can get through the exercise as fast as possible. So let's do that again. So scale. Without even reading out the commands, I'm just going to say from here to here, 1, enter. Say from here to here, make that 1. Whatever it is, I don't care what it is. It might be 1, I can actually figure that out if I undo it again. Distance. Currently, based on the way I brought it in, this is 1 3/16 of an inch. It's actually kind of close, but not close enough, right? I need it to be exactly 1 inch. So from here to here, 1 3/16 of an inch. So we're going to say scale, base point, here, click. Scale factor or first reference point. So scale factor, I could say, hey, scale it down 50%. 0.5. Scale it down 2, which doubles it in size. Or I can say, here's a first reference point, make it go to this second reference point. So first reference point is going to be this point. I'm going to click it. Second reference point, I'm going to just type in 1, which is 1 unit, which is 1 inch, and then hit enter. So now this whole entire drawing should be scaled properly. All of these numbers here, don't be fooled. These are lines right now. They used to be dimensions in whatever software they drafted this up in, but now because it was a PDF and then I imported it into Rhino, these are not numbers. This is not text. These are not arrows. These are all curves. These are just lines. So just because it says 1.000 doesn't mean it is 1.000. Although now it should be. So if I test that theory out, let's pick another round number. The measurement between these two arrows should be 0.460. Let's type in distance and measure from this line to that. I'm getting 7/16. What does that equate to? Let's try distance. This time, instead of using the model units as my measuring method, instead of using model units, I'm going to click here where it says units, and I'm going to say measure things for me in the form of inches in decimals. Right? Although my primary unit is in inches, although I'm usually working with fractions, I can still measure using whatever I want. I can even measure in millimeters. What does this equate to in millimeters? So it'd be like grabbing a metric measuring tape and measuring things that are American. It's the same thing. So the distance in inches and decimal from here to here is 0.4600. So that means everything's scaled properly. Let's check it again, here to here, 0.3433. So just with those 3 measurements, I know I've done something correct. 0.620, here it is, 0.620. So what that means is this whole entire drawing is perfectly scaled, right? When I'm in Rhino, I'm typically modeling in a 1-to-1 form, right? 1 inch in my head is equal to 1 inch in real life is equal to 1 inch in Rhino. So 1-to-1. So now this is 1-to-1 scale. What I need to do is I need this information right here, all of these curves right here. And I can go through and hold shift and I can select each one and then keep panning around and zooming in and out until I'm done, until I've selected everything, and then join them. But we could also go a little bit faster using selection windows. And this is where making cross selections like this come in handy. There are two different ways to make these selection windows, left to right or right to left. Those are two completely different things. So let's look at what it means if I do it here from left to right. It selects all of these lines. Now if I do that same shape right to left, it selects all of those lines plus some other line, right? So when I go right to left, it's actually able to select all the lines that are fully encompassed by this window plus whatever is touching it on the edges, which includes this horizontal line. If I do the same shape going left to right, it will only select things fully encompassed by that window, but not touching the edge, which I can use that logic to my advantage, right? So I just swooped in 22 curves in that one selection. I'm going to hold shift and make another window, left to right, trying to make sure that I don't fully encompass the wrong things. All right, there's a bunch more. Let's do it again, left to right. Make sure I'm not fully encompassing anything else that I don't want. That looks good. It can get tricky. Sometimes I'll go left to or right to left if it's easier ergonomically for me. And now I can go much faster, but I need to be very careful, right? This is actually the line of where one of my pickup pockets goes, so I don't want that line. How do I remove a curve from my selection? Hold Control and then select that curve. That's deselecting specific things. Letting go of that and holding Shift is adding things. I can also deselect using a cross selection window. Same concept, left to right, right to left. So let's grab all that again. Let's grab this stuff again. Being very nitpicky about what I pick up. I think I'm trying to go this way. Okay, when you get a selection window like this, what does that mean? It means that exactly where you've clicked, there are two exact things that exist there relative to how you're looking at it right now. So we're looking at it from top view. We're looking at it from above. There's actually one line there plus another one right below it or right in the same exact location. They're actually both occupying the same exact space. So I can select the one that I want using the selection menu. It's saying, hey, do you want this one or that one? I'd have to kind of zoom out to figure out which one I do want or not. Sometimes they're the same exact shape, so it almost doesn't matter. So if I hold Shift and click here, and I can cycle through it by just hovering my cursor over it, I see pretty much no difference, so I'm just going to choose whichever one. Okay, again, there's some shared geometry here, and that's because it's the pickup pocket plus it's the overall guitar shape. So what I've done in the past is actually make two templates on the CNC, so that way I can first do the outline of the guitar and then do the pockets separately, because this last pocket is all the way justified to the edge of the guitar body, so I can't just cut this shape out the other way. So this line is not correct. I'm going to deselect that and select that one instead. Zoom in and out as needed, pan as needed. Make big selection windows when possible. And just like that, I'm done. Where? Oh, wow, great eyes. Good memory. All right. You want to be super careful. You just spent 30 seconds selecting all these. Don't click anywhere else because it'll deselect everything. If you want to be extra careful, change object layer. Put all these curves you just selected, put them on another layer just to be safe. And change object layer just like that. Then I can click away and whew, all right, at least they're all organized into one layer. If I have to select them again, I can just say right click on layer 2, select objects, and boom, I've got them all again. Okay, or I can turn off my PDF layer. Now I just have the purple ones, right? That's nice. That's exactly why I like to utilize my layers. Let's also put in all of these pockets, and then we'll start to clean these things up to make sure that everything's correct. So I'm going to call layer 2 outline. Let's call layer 3 pockets. And then we'll have like a final one at the end where we finish this off. So let's go ahead and make selections. Be careful not to select the wrong things. It gets very hard with this tighter stuff. You get lucky sometimes if they're big long lines, but you don't always get big long lines. It's a little bit tedious, but this could have taken a lot longer.
So if you have two stacked like that, and you just arbitrarily pick one, will it attach it to? Will it like put it on the top? You know what I mean? Will it connect to the line? Because if you have one load and you click that one, will it attach it to the one on top? You know what I mean?
It can. It just kind of depends if whether or not they occupy the same exact X and Y and Z space. If it's actually like way lower in the Z, but we can't perceive that in looking at it where our heads are in top view and we're looking straight down, then no, right? Because then we can't say, hey, join this to everything else up here. They're not touching at all. But if they occupy the same space, they might be able to join, yeah. All right, so that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and change object layer, put it under pockets because I want to lose that information. And now I'm going to tediously do it here. I was going to say this is tedious, but the output is awesome because you get your own guitar out of this thing. So I think it's worth it. So let's do that. Let's do that, that. All right, that's going under pockets. All right, just a couple more. All right, now my final one. If you grab too much, you'll be okay. I've got a little method where it's not going to matter to us. We're going to use a fancy little command called curve boolean. All right, that's all there. Let's do this one here. All right, here's where the second one's going to come into play. So I don't want to select the purple one. I want to select the red one. Purple one's occupied. It's doing something else for me. Red, red. I can also just turn off the red, purple layer right now and only see the red stuff that's here. All these little shortcuts to go faster and faster. Almost there. All right. Pockets. Turn off my purple. Turn on the purple, turn off the red. I think I got them all. Let's see. Let's double check it. So I think these holes, I believe you drill them out yourself with either a drill press or a drill. So I don't think we have to worry about those. These are 2 channels you can create with a drill. I think that's basically it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off this PDF layer. So what do I have now? I just have very specific curves. I still have like a million curves. If I turn off this blue one and I join all of this, let's see what happens. Instead of 339 curves, let's join them. It says 339 curves joined into 1 closed curve and 1 open curve. That's actually pretty good. So if I select it again, this is 1 closed curve. But it says I still have 1 open curve somewhere. So if I just scooch this out of the way, there's some open curve somewhere. Here it is. Right there. So if I hit undo, Control Z to undo, that little guy is right here. So I must have accidentally picked up something that I didn't need from the number 5. So change object layer back to 5. Select all this. I have 1 closed curve, and that's going to be great for the CNC. We want the router to go in, do 1 closed shape. It's going to take a couple of passes to go through 1/4 of an inch, maybe 3 passes, versus it having tons of little teeny tiny curves to optimize and try to figure out, which way do I want to go? How do I want to go about it? And we want to join that as much as possible, because one potential thing it could do is it could say, hey, I'm going to cut here, and then I'm going to travel way over here, I'm going to cut there, I'm going to travel back this way and cut over here. The laser cutter will do the same thing. So if we don't join this, we might get that situation. So I'm going to turn the purple one off, turn the blue one on, and I'm going to select them all and join them, hoping for 1, 2, 3, 4 closed curves. Let's see. 249 curves joined into 4 closed curves and 2 open curves. So again, I have a couple of open curves. So if I take this one and this one and this one and this one, those are my 4 closed curves. I can hide them using the hide command. And then I'm going to make a huge selection window because my eyes can't visually see where these open curves are. And there they are. 2 little teeny tiny curves. If I turn off my PDF layer, that doesn't really clear that up. I don't know where they come from. Let's type in show. The opposite of hide is show. And they seem to come from this shape. So if I select that shape, or if I select the window going left to right this way, here's those 2 lines. So they're just 2 additional arbitrary lines that are tiny that there's duplicates of in this drawing that really don't matter to me. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in and select them and delete them.
Then you have 4 openings there. Can you set one opening to go deeper than the other one? Because right now they're all on the same layer.
To have them carve deep at different depths?
Because they're all on the same layer.
Yes, if we were seeing the actual stock body, which we're not.
Yeah.
But essentially, if we had a bigger CNC, we could totally do this with the 1.75 inch material. Actually, we could do 2-inch material and then plane it down with the CNC to get it down to 1.75, and then do all of these pockets in very specific depths, and then do the final cutout. Totally. But we're not doing that process. We're doing 1/4-inch Baltic, 1/4-inch black plywood, and just cutting holes through each of these things, because we're going to lay this on top of our stock material and use a hand router with a bearing bit to trim off the excess wood, and then a plunge router to get all of these pockets. So there we go. That's the Telecaster body. It's all done. So now I can save it. I'm going to save it here under, I I probably have already done this, but yeah, here it is, Telecaster body. Here it is in Rhino. I'll open up that file, but let's call it 250716. Let's call it 1.5. I don't know if 2.0 is any better. Then you want to also select it all, export as a DXF, right? Because we need a DXF to get into easel. So OCC projects, Telecaster body, DXF, AutoCAD drawing exchange, 250716 Telecaster body jig. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up the other one that I've already done in the past. So I'm going to open another instance of Rhino 8. I'm going to go to open real quick, and let's go to Rhino. Let's see what my 2.0 was back in May. So here are the two pieces that I milled out for my student, or with my student. First, this shape with all the pockets in it, minus this last pocket, because if I included that pocket, this is the overall shape, right? And I want to do this in series, so I want to cut both of these out with the X-carve. That's easy peasy. But then I want my designer, my guitar body designer, to take the first one, lay it on their wood, pocket all these out first, and then mill out this shape last, right? With this information here in this area. And then take that jig or template off, and then grab template number 2. And they can align template number 2 to their stock material using the edges, using all of these pockets. And then now this new shape allows you to get that last pocket, which is all the way justified to the right edge of the guitar. And so that's basically how you do it. Then you drop it in the easel, select your different tool paths, and that's it. Any questions? Did that make sense? Yeah? So my two guitarists, you guys are gonna make these?
Wait, where's this other guitarist?
What was that?
Where's that other guitarist?
In the hat right there. So maybe perhaps you need to buddy up. Yeah, and Francisco, if you three want to do this as part of your final project, this only entails one tool, but if you actually finish the whole entire guitar, that's a great final project. That'd be worth full points. My student did this in the same exact process I just spoke about, but also took it to the laser cutter, I think, and just engraved their own name into it. Heck, you could, put your own text object in here that says Crowley or made in architecture A170, made in the makerspace, property of the makerspace, OCC pride. You can add that on in here, right? So that's what he did for his final project. Was he did the whole guitar body and laser cut the body with our Omtex.
Did you do the neck as well?
He I'm sure there's random wood that you can find out there that somebody's trying to get rid of that's exactly the right size that you need. So, all right, any other questions? Any final questions on this one? Anybody want me to do anything else? Anything else? Anything else? All right. Please start populating some ideas in the discussion board so I can come around and chit chat with you on how we can achieve that if you need that assistance. keep playing around with your tools and start working on your final project. I'll be here. Let's do, I hope this recorded properly. Screen share off, mic off.